Hello everyone, this is Raul again. So I am back to YouTube once again because I find myself with way better internet than I had before. Maybe for the past few years I've had to live with really mediocre to bad internet. So now I do have better internet. Thanks to that, I do see myself uploading more often on YouTube. So in this video we're going to be testing out the landing physics of the Fenix A320. We're flying into Las Vegas. For now I've set up the ILS approach into runway 26 left. Using Flight Tampa Las Vegas, I've made another fix to the ILS frequency as well, using the content.xml fix that was mentioned by Flight Tampa to mitigate the ILS altitude bug in the simulator. Because using the Flight Tampa scenery on top of Navigraph caused some issues which cause you to come in rather low on your approach into Las Vegas runway 26 left. So I'd have loved to do the other runway, the 19er left or right, would have been more exciting. But I think I'm going to test out how the thing works as well. Now we're also getting down below flight level 180, way 18,000 feet. So we're going to get the local QNH, and I'm going to update that as well. We're 2970 local. I'm also going to get the destination data. So one way to get that obviously is through the ATSU menu here. Received messages. There's a bunch of stuff here. Let me look at that. Ah, okay, that's interesting. Let me see if I can get the weather request that's working here. Because this had a bit of an issue. Get both the METAR and the TAF. Get the seatbelt sign on. Right ahead of us we have Las Vegas. Wait for those weather data to come through, then we can try to input the rest of that data into the computer. Alright, let me look at the received messages. Weather data, that's working as expected, which is great. I'm going to go to the perf. 230 at 7 knots. 2970 is the altimeter. Temperature 24. 3.2, doesn't matter. And I think the radio for this one would be 200 feet. Yep. they've also tuned the sounds a little bit from last time. Gotta say, I do like the new CFM sounds. They're really, really good. Before, the engine sounds were a bit off inside the cockpit as well. Let me see how good it is while we are on approach. The changelog did say that they did tune the sounds. Let me see what else the changelog says. Anything else that pops up. You can actually go to the Discord page and look at the Fenix Discord page for the changelog. So they did a bunch of stuff for the A319, for the cabin and all of that, but there are some fixes going on for some pitch oscillation. Oh, they added ambient light sensors to the MCDU, DCDU. So does that mean that it automatically tunes the brightness without you having to modify it during the day? That's interesting. So retard trigger is also modified. Let's see how that works when we do the flare. Performance fixes. I think there's a bunch of performance fixes for the VNAV on the 319. VRAM usage. Oh, that's big. That's big. Sound fixes and improvements. All right. We're coming up on 10,000 feet. Alright, we already have a visual on the runway, I think. Yes, we do. Gonna get those ILS display on. Loc, GS. Should capture. Yep, there you go. We're already on the approach mode. Alright. This is going to be kind of a boring approach for Las Vegas, but that's okay. I'm going to take it because I'm here to test out the Fenix flare. It's been a while since I tested that out. Whoops. I'm going to switch off the GS mode detector because that's way too sensitive in the sim. Then I'm also going to see how well that ILS is captured on how accurate that ILS is in terms of the altitude, the glide slope. So I'm gonna get the autopilot off. I'm gonna fly this by hand. See if we can bleed off some of that speed. .230 knots, flaps 1. Just flying at the edge there. Alright. It is bleeding off speed pretty fast. The 737 is way more slippery on the speed than the 320. Okay, I'm gonna just not use. Oh, I'm not gonna be overusing those speed brakes. Getting the runway turnoffs on. Gonna begin configuring at about 2,000 feet radio. Until then, we're gonna stay at flaps 1. Missed approach altitude for today is 6,000 feet. Okay, the scenery is loaded in. This is the default Asobo Las Vegas update scenery, not the one with Fly Tampa. My computer is not so good that it can handle those the Fly Tampa city scenery for Las Vegas, because I do have a 9900K, and that is getting up there. It's about 4.5 years old now, so it is getting up there in age. And those buildings do stress out the CPU more than anything else. So running a 1080p monitor, but having my terrain LOD at 100 or something, object LOD at 200. So you see the terrain just loading in up there. Comes in at around 5 miles, 5 DME from the airport, about 10 miles from the city itself. We're at 1,200 feet. Configuring pretty late, honestly. I would have loved to configure a little bit early. That was my bad. Just me being rusty, flying after a long time. Flaps 3. Nope, it's too fast. Alright, I think I might have to even... So this thing is putting me a bit low, right? Yeah, it is putting me a bit low. So despite having that fix, it is putting me a bit low.
500.
So the content.xml fix doesn't quite help
400.
The situation with
Saying,
so you know what? I'm gonna go do a go around, flap 2, gear up. So we came in a bit unstable there, so I'm just gonna do that go around and try again. Probably I'm gonna come up for runway 19er right this time. Las Vegas looking beautiful there. Flying right over that light beam there. Pretty cool. Flaps 1, flaps up. Getting autopilot 1 on. Ground spoiler off. So I'm going to be doing a visual approach into runway 19 right now. Maybe I should. Yeah, that's going to be the more interesting approach, so I think I'm going to end up doing that. I'm going to go to Bravo Lima Delta at VOR, and we're going to hold them. So I think that's Boulder City VOR. Then once we hold at Boulder City, I'm going to see if we have options from Boulder City to the arrival for runway 19 right. Have the Yarnav Victor 19 right. Arnav Zulu 19 right. So Arnav Zulu 19 right. That's going to be that's possible, right? So once we have Bravo Lima Delta, we can maintain those 6,000 feet to come back into Penn. In fact, we can even make that turn a little bit short, because we can fly a beam off Penn and then make a left turn and move in intercept. We could also bypass Penn and go down there, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fly this raw data visual approach. Going to get rid of the flight director. I think this would be pretty feasible. Let me go to Navigraph and change my approach information. You know what? I think I'm going to change the time to a little bit earlier, just to make it look nicer. Ah, that's beautiful right there. That's what I like. Not doing anything by the book here.
2,500.
All right.
1,000.
Bit low.
Hundred above.
Have some issues with
Minimum
my hardware.
500. 400. 300. 200.
Maybe the
100.
copy lights are kind of messed up.
50, 40, 30, 20, retard, retard.
Just putting max manual braking. My so there's issues with the throttle as well, I think. So I think the detent just goes to the toga detent for me for some reason. If I exceed a certain percentage of reverse thrust. Something up with my binding. Anyways guys, this was just a test stream on YouTube. Didn't go too well in terms of the approach and all of that. The Las Vegas scenery still needs some fixes, I guess. But apart from that, just want to go look at this again and see how... I mean, I was happy with the landing physics for whatever that's worth. For however unstable I was, it did handle it pretty decently. So I mean, I do prefer the Tolus 321 obviously more than the Fenix for now, but that's an MSFS thing, not a Fenix thing necessarily. Anyways guys, I just need to probably figure out my controls a little bit and then I'll be